Welcome to the Newsa-Cast YouTube channel. These Red Smith Banquet throwbacks are exclusive interviews of sports legends, powerful media personalities, and influential coaches. You won't find these anywhere else. Subscribe below and enjoy.
All right, Newsa-Cast listeners, we are going to give you the second opportunity to hear our very first throwback this week, and that is the one and only Mark Johnson. And this is obviously pretty important because Mark Johnson was a member of the 1980 Miracle on Ice, and February 22nd was the date in 1980 that they beat the Soviets.
Yes.
And he is many people believe was probably had the best Olympics out of every player on that team. He was responsible for 2 of the 4 goals. He scored the goal with 1 second left in the first that pulled the Soviets' number 1 goaltender out. The coach pulled him out when nobody understands why. And he was also responsible for the 3rd goal that tied it at 3-3. And, he is also in every single sports Hall of Fame you can think of for hockey. He's the longtime coach of the women's team at University of Wisconsin-Madison and was just a spectacular speaker for the Red Smith Awards.
Yeah, it was great to have him here in 2009. He was fantastic. Yeah, I was thinking, Tash, I mean, his coaching career is almost as good as or equal to his playing career, which after the stats you described is pretty hard to do, but just an incredible coach. I mean, the Wisconsin women's program is the best in the nation, the gold standard.
Yeah, they're perennial Frozen Four. They're number 2 in the nation right now, I believe. And they are playing fantastic again and gunning for another national championship. And, we didn't even mention he had a hell of an NHL career as well. Played 669 games also, which is incredible. So this is amazing. And it's a great time to see this throwback, looking back at the 1980 Olympics.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, happy anniversary to those. I agree, Tosh. Happy anniversary to those Olympics. Great childhood memory. And folks, enjoy this one. It's a good one. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube. If you haven't done that, just click that button right below you. That really, 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 really helps us out. So we would appreciate that.
It's indeed a pleasure to be here to introduce Mark Johnson as the winner of the 2009 Red Smith Award. As you know, this is an award that's given annually to an individual who has made a significant contribution to sports in the state of Wisconsin, and Mark Johnson certainly has done that. In fact, I think it's safe to say you'd have to look long and hard to find anyone in the state of Wisconsin who has achieved as much success as Mark Johnson has achieved. As a youngster at Madison Memorial High School, he led his team to a state hockey championship. He moved on to the University of Wisconsin, where he joined the Badger hockey program and played for his father, the legendary Badger Bob Johnson. And as a freshman for the Badgers, Mark was named the WCHA Rookie of the Year, and he helped his team to the NCAA championship in 1977. During his 3 years at Wisconsin, he set several scoring records for the Badgers, and today, despite the long history of players who have played for Badger hockey over the last 30 years, Mark Johnson still holds the record for goals scored in a season and goals scored in a career. From there, Mark went on to the United States Olympic team, and it has been mentioned here tonight, the Miracle on Ice. Mark was a member of that gold medal winning team, an event that Sports Illustrated last year dubbed as the greatest sports moment in the 20th century. Now, let me just say this about Mark and the Miracle on Ice. A lot of people have gotten a lot of publicity about the Miracle on Ice, and all of the time Mark Johnson has sat back and just watched. Let me say this about Mark's Miracle on Ice experience. He wasn't just a member of that team. He led the team in scoring with 11 points. In that game against the Soviet Union, with 1 second left in the first period, he scored a goal to tie the game. And then in the third period, when the Soviets were ahead 3-2, he scored a second goal to tie the game. and then he assisted on the game-winning goal to defeat the Soviet Union 3-2. After the Olympics, Mark played 11 seasons in the National Hockey League. He played professionally 3 more seasons overseas before returning to Wisconsin, his home, where he and his family settled in. He started his coaching career and would eventually be named assistant coach for the men's hockey team under Jeff Sauer. And after 6 seasons as an assistant coach for the men's team, Mark was named head coach of the women's hockey program in 2002. And during that time, he's built the premier women's hockey program in the country with back-to-back championships in 2006 and 2007. And as I mentioned before, his team is headed for some great things ahead, currently ranked number 1. He returned home a couple weeks ago from coaching the under-18 U.S. team in Germany, where he led them to a gold medal world championship. Everything Mark touches turns to gold. We often talk about the student-athlete experience at the University of Wisconsin, and I just want to relay a couple stories that are really special student-athlete experiences. In 2007, in Lake Placid, when his team was in the locker room preparing for that championship game, Mark told the girls to look around as they prepared to go out on the ice, and he said, "Ladies, it's this locker room, this same locker room, where we prepared and went out on the ice to defeat the Soviet Union. It's this locker room that President Carter visited to urge the team on to success." How about a pregame talk like that, huh? Isn't that special? And then after it's over, the bus is leaving Lake Placid, site of that great miracle on ice. The Badger women's team has won the national championship, and Mark instructs the bus driver to take a little detour. They go over to the Olympic torch, and they take the NCAA championship trophy, and they have a team picture next to the Olympic torch. Now that's a student-athlete experience that is really something for our girls. And Mark did it so very humble and not flashy. He did it for the girls. Along the way, Mark has been inducted into the UW Hall of Fame, the State of Wisconsin Sports Hall of Fame, the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. He's been named a Silver Anniversary Award winner by the NCAA and the Vince Lombardi Award of Excellence. And despite these and many other accomplishments, too numerous to mention, I'm sure any of you who know Mark Johnson will agree on this. You won't find a nicer person than Mark Johnson. You won't find anyone more humble than Mark Johnson. You won't find anyone more dedicated to his family, to his players and staff, and to his community than Mark Johnson. And you won't find anyone more suited to be winner of the 2009 Red Smith Award. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you one of the greatest athletes in the history of the state of Wisconsin. Please welcome our good friend, Mark Johnson.
Thank you, Vince. Certainly kind words. To me, it's really a night to be thankful, and certainly want to thank the Red Smith Committee for this great honor. As I look down the list of past winners a couple weeks ago when I went on the website, my first reaction was like, wow. You look at the names and what those people have done, not only within their communities, but certainly within their sports. There's a lot of impressive people on there, and so I'm very humbled to be part of that group, and certainly very honored. But as I look out, and Vince had said it was a large banquet, and when we walked through the doors here and I saw everybody sitting out there, it's like, no, this is huge. But it really paints a picture of what your community is all about, and As I've told on many occasions to different banquets that I've spoke at, you can have great buildings, and if you go down to Madison and you see the Cole Center, or you see Camp Randall, or the Overture Center, I mean, we got a lot of wonderful things down there, but what makes the community special is the people. And as I interacted with some people tonight before we came up here, and as I look out in the audience and I see the real mission of what the Red Smith Banquet's all about, it sort of gives me goose pimples, because I have 5 kids myself, and I know how important youth sports is to a community, and the future of your community is within your young people, and it's so neat to see a community like yourself get together, raise money, distribute it out to different organizations in the Fox Valley. It just develops strength within your whole area, and you can see why people want to move up here and why wonderful things are happening around your area, and it's so special to be part of your evening. As I was thinking about tonight, all the wonderful memories I have as a youngster playing hockey down in Madison, playing baseball at the Little League Diamond, playing soccer, following my dad around as a caddy on the golf course and learning, and thinking about all the wonderful people that helped me and shaped my life as I grew up, and how important it is as a coach now to try to do the same thing with the people that get in front of us. And so it's a real neat evening, because like I say, the strength of your community is not only within the people, but what you do with your young people. And it's very neat to see this community come together and raise money. In coaching, I call it a soap opera every day. These guys have coached a lot longer than I have, but they could sit up here for weeks and tell stories about some of the things that happened over the course of their time working with their athletes at different universities. But I think the special things that I really reflect on, and I was very fortunate about, I had a father that really became a role model. When you're young and you're running around the house and you're running to different activities, you really don't know what's happening. You're sort of naive to what the whole culture of your environment. But as you get older, as you mature, and you look back on how you developed your morals and your values, and the first thing I looked at is my parents. And I was fortunate enough to have a father who was very passionate about his job. He was a coach, but more importantly, he was a teacher. And not only did he teach life skills to the players that he worked with on the ice, whether they were mites at one of our hockey schools that we run over the summer, or dealing with professional players like Mario Lemieux in Pittsburgh winning a Stanley Cup. He was genuine. He was 24/7. He had a lot of energy and enthusiasm for the game, and I was fortunate, being one of his sons, to watch it on a daily basis. And I look back and reflect on the opportunities he presented, my mom presented to us as kids. You're just thankful that I was fortunate enough to live in a household that had that. And now as a coach, it's neat to go back on the ice with young kids. When I first got in coaching, I started coaching my kids at the 5 and 6 year level. I've now got kids that are 24 and 23, and I see them going back and coaching at the younger levels, and it's always fun to go on the ice with young kids, because to me it's pure, it's genuine. They're doing it because they love what they do with their teammates. It's great social opportunity, meeting different kids around the neighborhood. And it really is, as Ron mentioned, it's about having fun. And so last night we had a clinic at the Cole Center. And if you would have told me this 6 or 7 years ago, I thought you'd be nuts, because if we ran the same clinic a few years ago, we might have had 10 or 15 kids show up. But last night we had over 100 girls show up at the Cole Center, and our players on our Wisconsin team put on a clinic. We had 70 kids on the ice. We had 30 more kids doing off-ice up in the gymnasium at the Cole Center. And it was just fun going on the ice, because these 5 and 6 year olds with their hair in front of their eyes, with their helmets and their equipment on, getting a chance to skate around the Cole Center ice, it was very exciting. And as we organized the on-ice activities, and we sent different people to different areas on the ice, we got ourselves organized, and there's this young lady, young little girl. Annie was her name. She was 5 years old, and I said, Annie, you need to go down in the corner where they're working on skating. No, coach. I need to go to the bathroom. And what do? You just smile and say, okay, let's get you going here. And so, but that's the fun part about coaching, especially at the young level. So I compliment everybody here tonight on strengthening your community, giving kids that are at the young age an opportunity to experience sports in all different areas, and the opportunity to learn what sports teaches us. And those are life lessons, and You're really implementing things in them that they'll carry with them the rest of their lives. If you happen to be coaching at the youth level, you can have a huge impact on those players that you're working with, and you certainly want to be a role model to them, because the little things you do, they're watching you, and they're watching you very closely. So make sure you do the right things if you're getting an opportunity to work with the youth. But again, I just want to thank everybody for letting me be part of your night, and certainly very honored to have received this award. And it's a very special night for myself and my family. So thank you very much.
Please subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we post another great episode or interview. Download the podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for your support.